May I introduce the inaugural session dignitaries. We welcome Mr. Amar Sinha, Secretary Economic Relations, Ministry of External Affairs, Republic of India. Dr. Ajay Mathur, Director General, TERI. His Excellency Mr. Vishwas Sapkal, High Commissioner of India to the Republic of Fiji. Honorable Minister of State for External Affairs, Republic of India, General V.K. Singh, and the Attorney General and Minister for Economy, Public Enterprise, Civil Services and Communication, Republic of Fiji, Honorable Ayaz Saeed Khayoum. Good morning and Bula Vinaka again. Ladies and gentlemen, the conference is furthering the FIPIC agenda and will strengthen the discourse on sustainable development, share lessons and best practices, and facilitate new partnerships. With no further ado, may I invite Mr. Amar Sinha, Ministry of External Affairs, Republic of India, to formally welcome and set the context to the conference.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, at the outset, let me say how honored I am here. I am to be here in South Pacific and to be able to welcome you all to the India-Pacific Island Sustainable Development Conference. A very warm welcome and a good morning to all of you. This conference and the themes that it seeks to cover is a result of the deliberations between leaders of the Pacific Island nations and India's Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi. During the two summits of the Forum for India and Pacific Island Cooperation that have been held so far, every leader from this region expressed their desire to cooperate with India on these themes. This conference is thus the result of that local felt need. Happily, this also coincides with Fiji's presidentship of COP23, as well as her co-chairing the UN Oceans Conference, which is a proud moment for all island countries, and particularly for the Pacific Island countries. This is in addition to her presidentship of the United Nations General Assembly, which is truly a remarkable achievement. For this conference, we are fortunate to have TERI, the Energy and Resource Institute of India, as our knowledge partner. A very senior team from the National Disaster Management Authority of India is here to share their experience on disaster risk reduction and mitigation. Similarly, we have very senior representation from India's Ministry of Environment and Forests to talk about climate change challenges and sustainable development. Our industry associations, FICCI and the CII, are providing inputs on blue economy and healthcare. We are indeed indebted to PIDF, the Pacific Island Development Forum, for its partnership in this event. They have been able to marshal a large number of experts on this region who will be the essential sounding board for the implementability of the ideas and solutions that will be thrown up during our discussions over the next 2 days. The participation of so many leaders from Pacific Island nations, some of these nations represented at the highest levels, speaks volumes of the resonance that the themes of this conference have for the people of our countries. India is delighted that what began as an India-FIPIC countries event has gone beyond, and now we hope to have representation from other countries as well. The presence here today of students, researchers, civil society members, in addition to experts in the fields of matter is a matter of deep satisfaction. We deeply appreciate all the help and assistance provided by the government of Fiji for this conference. His Excellency Prime Minister Bainimarama could not be here with us as he's out of the country, but without his leadership and support, this conference would not have been possible. I thank Acting Prime Minister, His Excellency Ayaz Saeed Khayoum, for his presence today and for all that he has done to make this conference possible. Thank you, sir. This conference is a unique event. India has not organized such a conference with countries of any other region. to look at their local situation and help in addressing the sustainable development issues confronting them. We look forward to the rich deliberations that are to follow and the conclusions and recommendations that will emanate from this conference. I wish you all great success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Sinha. May I request Director General TERI, Dr. Ajay Mathur, to deliver the special address.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Energy and Resources Institute, it's a great pleasure to partner with the PIDF and the Ministry of External Affairs of the Government of India to bring you this conference. Across the world, and particularly here in the Pacific Island states, the pace of change, the pace of climate change, the pace of change in nature, the pace of change in our economic growth is driving us all to find ways in which we can thrive but survive. We live in a world where the changes that are happening are threatening our very existence. There is a large amount of carbon dioxide emissions in the atmosphere, which we willy-nilly have to live with. That's unavoidable. So the first thing that we need to do is to manage the unavoidable. This means managing various things, our waste management systems, managing our disaster management systems, the medical systems, so that we can, as I said, manage the unavoidable. Yet, as we go towards tomorrow, it is also important that these global changes don't reach a level which is then unmanageable. So we also need to avoid the unmanageable. Clearly, across the world, the leadership in managing the unavoidable will have to be taken by those nations who are responsible for the vast amount of emissions. But for all of us, the key is to move towards a greater and greater use of renewables. Today, we are at the fortunate event in history when the amount of renewables, the price of renewables is on our side. The amount of renewables used everywhere is increasing and the price is decreasing. This makes it today attractive even as a replacement to the diesel-based power. Let's see what we can do. As we move ahead, we will need electricity even when the sun is not shining, when the solar energy is not available. I think a focus on the development of battery systems, the use of these systems so that we can store the energy during the day and use it at night becomes important for us and for all the people around the world. In the past few years, we have seen that this has been accelerated. In India, under the leadership of the Prime Minister and many other leaders of the world, India launched the International Solar Alliance. And I'm amazingly delighted that the Republic of Nauru joined the International Solar Alliance a few days ago. I think it promises to take us into a world where it is possible, through learnings from each other, to move ahead. It also teaches us that technology and business models together can help move us into a world that is better for us, is under our control, and provides us with the basic necessities that we need. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we all face a common challenge. Yet, the solutions that we will find, both to manage the unavoidable as well as to avoid the unmanageable, would be very local. We can learn from each other. We can tweak technologies. We can see how policies make sense across jurisdictions. For us, us developing countries, in the presence of incomplete information, in the presence of capacity constraints, how do we yet move ahead to create a world which is better for all our citizens. This meeting will, I'm sure, push up a huge number of solutions that make sense here and around the world. Thank you all very much for being here.
Thank you.